Okay, so next up we want to add background images so that we can see. Now we've added a placeholder image to our website. That's just here in this folder. And now we need to add it in the CSS. So we've created a class bg-image, and within that we want to tell it to make a background image to have the URL of images / let's check it, placeholder. Check your spelling, and let's check it. Beautiful, it's in there. Now, almost every time we do a background image, we want to tell it background size cover and background position center. That's telling it to take up the full amount of space that it has and to focus the image on the center point if it needs to cut some of it off. So we can see now it's highlighting the center of the image whenever it is cropped. Beautiful. Now we could add size to this directly, or we could add it to these divs. For now, let's just leave it because we've got a lot of other styling to do before we get to that. Okay, so what would I do next? We've got our grids broadly in place. We could do the header or the footer. There's lots of different sections we could do. I'm going to do some universal styles because in terms of having the site look how it would finally look, these make the biggest difference for the least amount of time. So I'm going to grab a Google font. I actually don't know which one this was designed with, but let's go with Open Sans. That's a nice font. Now we can customize it. We want the bold and extra bold version as well. And then we can copy it. So we copy it into our HTML. It goes up the top here with Gridlex. And you'd probably do a little comment. Often you will then collapse it if it was on multiple lines. It's not in this case. Okay, so we've added our Google fonts here. We still need to add them in our style sheet. So I might use the body selector. We want to avoid using the universal selector for anything other than the CSS reset. And set font, family, Open Sans. Let's have a look what that's done. Oh, already looking a little bit better. Now we can also tell that we're using a light gray color. So let's make the color. We could use RGB codes, hex codes, whatever you're using. I'll use RGB, and let's say it's 90. It's a gray color that I often use. Still dark enough to read. If you want it a bit darker, we can change it here. Cool. I'm pretty happy with that. Now coming back to our design, let's look at what other things jump out of this as kind of quick wins. One that I can see is the padding. We have quite a bit of padding on some of our sections. Now there's two ways we could do this. We could apply padding to all of the sections as we've done currently, where we've said section padding 1%. And if the majority of your sections have padding, that's a good way of going about it. You give them all padding and then you take it away where you don't need it. Alternatively, if only some or half of your sections have padding, then we would create a class instead. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this 1% padding that we added in earlier as a placeholder. And I'm going to create what I call some utility classes. These are reusable classes that I can put in again and again wherever I need them. So the first one I'm going to create is padded. and I'm going to give that padding of 5%. Now we can go over here, and wherever we want to have that padding, we'll just add it in. So our header, we probably don't want 5% padding. We might style it specifically, but this section, we can make it padded. Oh, we actually missed this first section in building our HTML. I wonder how many of you guys spotted that as we were doing it. Let's create a section. And inside that section, we've just got a H2 that says an award-winning beauty spa in Bali. Okay, and we'll give it a class of padded and a class of BG image. Beautiful. Then we don't actually want this one to be padded, because if it were padded, it would push a gap around the images. And we actually want the images to sit flush with the edge of the page. So we don't want the grid itself to be padded. We do want these individual text boxes to be padded. So rather than apply it to this section, we'll apply it to some of the individual divs. So we'll say this one is padded and this one is padded. Just the two with text, not the images. Now we've got our call to action. We probably want that to have a bit of padding around it, and that's how it shows in our design. And then we've got this section here, the testimonial section. We have it enough in this design that we probably could have applied it just to all the sections, but it's a good habit to get into. Our map, let's leave because we haven't styled it yet. And then our footer. Okay, let's have a look and see what that's done. So we've saved both. Switch over to Safari. Okay, so we've got our banner image up here. We've got these blocks starting to look a little bit more like they should. We've got this call to action sitting in the middle, etc. It's starting to look a bit more how it should. Let's actually add padding to the map just so that it sits in the right place for now. The next set of utility classes that I like to create are for text alignment. So we often want to move things left, center, etc. Let's do that here. So we go into our style sheet, and just under where we've done padded, let's do a class of left. Then let's do right and center. Some people say center, some people say centered. It's up to you. Now we have a look back at our index and we go to our design, and we can see which things we want centered. We can apply it either to a div if it applies to everything inside, or we can apply it to a specific element like a H2 or a paragraph. So starting at the top, this is left aligned, this is left aligned, this is left aligned. It's this "what are you waiting for" banner. So we scroll down until we see it here, and we can add a class of center. Let's check that. Beautiful, it's centered. So we'll keep going and apply that. Now here, we don't want the whole section to be centered because we want these paragraphs left aligned. So we'll just apply it to our headings. Our map, it doesn't really matter, and our footer is not centered. Cool. Slowly, slowly, it starts to take shape. I'm going to save it there, and in the next video we'll tackle the header.